Dale, you was linked with Blackpool a long time before actually joining. How long were things actually rumbling on for in the background?
Yeah, it was a couple. It was probably about 6 weeks. I'm going to say. There was a few clubs in there, and Blackpool was one of them. And as I said before, I spoke to the manager. I spoke to a few of my friends, and they all had good things to say about this club and where it's going. So that made my mind really easy, to be fair.
Was there a defining factor that made you think this is the club for me? Because a few clubs were linked, but was there one thing that eventually tipped the balance?
Well, as I said, then I spoke to a few of my mates, and when people are speaking good about the club, and speaking it to me, it just stands out. You know what I mean? I spoke to a manager. He's a great manager, and what he's done over his career is unbelievable, and it gave me that wee bit of hunger to work underneath him, and I can't wait to get going and improving.
Yeah, you previously mentioned Ollie Norburn. He was someone that was here for 18 months. Probably didn't go as well as he would have liked, but when you got someone like that talking up the club, someone who's maybe not experienced what he would have liked on the pitch, must have said a lot.
Yeah, he's a top lad. I was with him at Wigan. I've had a few phone calls, but he was here for 18 months, whatever it was. But speaking to him, he said nothing but good things about this football club, and it was really good things to hear.
Yeah, someone with that experience, he's been around as well. Does that just paint a picture?
Yeah, of course, he's been around for a long time. He's so many hundreds of caps appearances under his belt. And speaking to him, I've spoken to him, as I said, plenty of times, and he's really experienced lad. So come from him is massive.
It feels like you've been in League One for quite a long time with various loan stints, building up. So do you think you're ready now to take that next step, to reach the next level?
Yeah, of course. I'm here to do as best as I can. For the club and for myself and the teammates and all the fans. I've been around League One for a couple of years now on loan, and I really enjoyed it. I've done well in every loan I went on. Everyone got better and improved. So I'm just really excited to get going now. When you're a young player and you're going loan, you're on loan. You're a loan player. You're not you're part of it, but you're sort of not part of it. And I'm here now for 4 years, so I'm part of this football club, and I'm going to want to do as best as I can for it.
You moved over to England at a young age. What was that sort of like, going to Forest as like a teenager?
Yeah, I moved when I was 16. As I said before there, it's obviously difficult to moving away from home, away from your family, away from your friends. But, Forest done everything they could, and, they improved me as a player, most importantly. But yeah, they put me in the digs when I was 16, and, I have to hold my hands up because they treated me with huge respect, and I really appreciate it.
Even though you've been out on loan spells, does it feel weird permanently leaving Forest now, taking that big step away from someone you've known for so long?
Yeah, it's when you've been at a club for 5 years and you finally get up and you leave, it's a bit strange. Yeah, it's a different feeling, but this is what football's all about. You need to take your next step in your career, and I thought this is the right thing to do.
Yeah, so obviously Blackpool's a club that's been in League One for years. They want to step up, so do you think you can grow with the club now?
Yeah, well, that's the goal of this football club. We want to aim to get the championship and want to get it promoted. And I think that's every player's aim, the manager, all the staff's the exact same thought. So hopefully we can do that.
And there's quite a few attacking options. You're looking forward to building different partnerships with the likes of Tom Loxham, now Lennis, Ashley Fletcher.
Yeah, there are a few top players. I've trained with them for the last week now, and you can just say they're real quality players. So hopefully we can start gelling together and start linking up really well and go and getting a lot of goals between us.
You mentioned the international stage as well, so it's about just putting good performances for club and hopefully get more caps for country.
Yeah, that's a big factor. It all goes down to how well you're doing at your football club. They get obviously the call up to go and play for Northern Ireland, which is massive. I take that very big. Playing for your country there's no better feeling. I've said this plenty of times in interviews that a boy from Belfast playing for Northern Ireland, Windsor Park is unbelievable, and there's no better feeling than that.
Obviously you want more, but 8 caps at the age of 21 must feel special already.
Yeah, of course. I'm young and I'm inexperienced but experienced at the same time. And I just want to go and get as many caps as I can and do as well for my country as club.